Well, being in animal services is a wild job. You never know what kind of call or what kind of day you're going to get on a daily basis. That was certainly the case for Fair Oaks Ranch officer Sarah Klobosky when she was told 2 times in the last month that a baby owl was knocked from its nest. But being the professional that she is, Klobosky wasted no time and saved the little birds. And I got a chance to sit down with the newly proclaimed owl whisperer to learn more about her recent rescues and her love with working with animals. Let's take a look. Good morning, Sarah. We have mentioned you so many times on River City News. Your owl rescue events have literally just stunned us. Talk to me a little bit about a background in your career.
So I've always been in animal care welfare. I was a veterinary technician for about 8 years. And then I switched over to more of the rescue side of animals. I was actually in San Antonio Animal Care Services, so a lot of cats and dogs. And then I started here with the City of Fair Oaks Ranch. Definitely different types of animals. I mean, I deal with a lot of wildlife here, so it's definitely a change of pace. But I mean, I love it. I'm super happy to be here. So.
Well, it takes definitely somebody with a gentle hands to even be able to capture something as an owl. This is almost like a 2-part question. One, I want to know, what are the precautions that you had to take to essentially, get something as tender as an owl and then take it to safety?
Yeah, so definitely gentle. I mean, they're very tiny, they're very fragile. So I did wear obviously bite gloves. They're not very receptive to human touch. But definitely I mean, any wildlife can transmit diseases. So definitely precautions in that aspect. But you just got to be real gentle. I mean, just not even a little bit of pressure, just kind of cup them. And I transported them to the wildlife rescue, and so they're doing very, very well there. I do follow up on them quite a bit. So
that's so good to hear. I know that seeing an owl isn't an everyday event for a lot of us, but if that were to happen in somebody's own backyard or front yard, what would be the steps that they should take?
So my number one recommendation is don't try to handle them with any wildlife. Like I said, they're not usually receptive to human interaction. So a bite is always possible. The best thing you can do is to call your animal services so they can come out and properly handle them. We know where to take them and how to properly handle them. So that would be my number one recommendation. Also, I wouldn't try to feed them or give them water if possible, because for instance, bread is kind of harmful to some birds. Trying to give them water, sometimes it can get into the lungs. So like I said, your best bet is just to call your animal services, and they can respond to that very quickly to get them to safety.
Okay, it would seem like it sounds self-explanatory, but I've seen videos where people even have whether it's a squirrel or a mini snake in their front yard or a chinchilla, and they'll just take it in their care and raise it as their own. So yeah. I'm glad that we touch base on the precautions of that. Now, an owl for me, definitely something I wouldn't see any day, but I anticipate that you've seen even wilder animals. What's the, most extravagant animal that you've rescued?
So actually right now I've been kind of going back and forth with a fox under a lady's decking, chose to live there. So I've been kind of, some of these calls take days. So for instance, this one's been going on about a week. I've been trying to, because he has built a hole to go under her decking, and they don't come out willingly, obviously. So I did actually get a camera under there and was able to record him, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just trying to coax him out of the hole so I can fill that hole in. So it's pretty exciting though to actually see that kind of stuff. Actually, with one of my first days here, I got a call on the radio about a loose mini pony.
What?
I like I said, my background's in cats and dogs. So when I got that call, same expression. I was like, a, a loose ponies. Yeah, just a pony running down the road. Just
Oh,
very interesting here.
you could definitely be a zookeeper. Like they would write children's books about you. This is what it sounds like. Okay, so you touched base a little bit about having us a background in veterinary. Is that so? Talk to me. What kind of inspired you to take that route? I know a lot of young children either aspire to be vets or teachers, and I definitely wanted to take that route, but
Mhm.
I didn't really know where to begin after that. I just kind of had the
Yeah.
thought. How did that even transpire to now this amazing career that you have?
Yeah, so I mean, growing up, I wanted to be a veterinarian too. I started off, and this is my best recommendation for anybody that's interested with animals. Start off as a kennel technician. It is a beginner's kind of job. I actually started a kennel technician at like 17 years old. And it just kind of grew from there. I was receptionist and then promoted to veterinary technician. Did that for a little bit, but I've always been more drawn to the rescue side of things, which is kind of how I progressed into this position now. So,
Wow. And what would somebody need to know about animal officers that they might not know?
I mean, so a lot of people have this stigmatism of animal control and it's almost like enforcement. We're actually here for the community and the animals. A lot of people see us as a type of law enforcement, which we are to a certain extent with city ordinances and laws. But ultimately, we're here for the animals and the safety of the community. So I don't, if I can stress anything enough, don't ever be afraid to call animal services, which is why the Fair Oaks Ranch has actually switched the name, because we offer services. We don't always just control everything. So I know a lot of people are afraid to call animal control, thinking that we're just going to take them to the shelter or XYZ. But no, I mean, like you said earlier, like we're gentle and caring, and that's why we're here. So that would be my my tip.
I appreciate that. I think I agree with you. There definitely is people who aren't very much aware of what that job title holds. And as you said, there's definitely a stigma to it. So this leads me to my last question. In the San Antonio area, I mean, we've talked owls, we've talked foxes, we've talked ponies. Is there anything else that you have seen within the city?
So, like I said, San Antonio is a lot different. There's a lot of you deal with a lot of cats and dogs, and then Fair Oaks Ranch is a lot of wildlife. I actually have a rescue that I got from San Antonio. She had no use of her back legs. She was found dragging the streets. And so a small private rescue out of San Antonio, the Footbridge Foundation, agreed to treat her. And now today she's walking and running. And that's, if I had to say, that was like my proudest moment. It definitely. And now we ended up adopting her after fostering her for a year, just because watching her progress was so amazing. And it's amazing how resilient these animals are, cats, dogs, wildlife, whatever. I mean, it's amazing. So, yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on River City. Hopefully, I mean, it sounds like you may get another owl in your near future. They just seem drawn to you. So
Yeah, they call me the owl whisperer now. So,
that's what I
yeah.
was thinking. Well, all animal whisper at this point, because you've encountered a lot of things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us this morning. And great things that you're doing in the community. Keep that gentle touch that you have going.
Of course. Thank you so much.